Hell yeah, brother. I'm stoked to be here. I appreciate the invitation, and I'm looking forward to chatting.
Yeah, bro. Oh, dude. Like, first, I think I don't know. I don't remember exactly how I came across your profile, but you have one of the best Instagram. I go on your Instagram every single day. There's
I'm
so much
glad you have
new
fun.
shit.
I go on there and I have a lot of fun myself, and posting a lot of things that I find funny, and I just go out there and I'm myself unapologetically, and people seem to appreciate it. It's just I just have fun though, and I feel like it's contagious.
It is like, and that's like the big thing about you is like on top of you being a really, really good fighter, you're ranked number 13 light heavyweight in California. You have like this very, I couldn't find a lot of information about it, but you seem to have a lot of medals and belts for the Naga World Championship. So your
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu is super on point. You have 8 wins in across a lot of LFA, RFA. Lights Out is one of the ones that I
lights
saw
out. Yeah.
recently. So it's definitely you have all these accolades, but like you're like this huge personality. So it's like this is gonna be such an awesome interview. I'm so excited. I'm so
Yeah, I'm
excited.
looking forward to it.
Um, so first and foremost, let me ask, where did you get Bulletproof from? Where is this coming
So
from?
my last name's Troop, and my whole life I've always been into like military stuff. When people ask me what my favorite color is, I tell them camouflage.
Oh.
Even though I know it's not a single color, but so I've always joked like the Troop life chose me. I didn't choose the Troop life.
Right.
But so I started doing Bulletproof Troop about a little bit over 3 years ago. I had my first fight as Bulletproof Troop in December of 2016, and I had been doing it for about 3 or 4 months leading up into that. So for the first 2 or so years of my fight career, it was just Blake Troop fighting people. And I saw guys like Conor McGregor getting fast passes, or another guy CM Punk, because they had big followings behind him. And I wouldn't necessarily say like Conor can fight. I'm not taking away his ability to fight, but he
Right.
definitely got catapulted through the rankings and got bigger opportunities at a faster pace because of his marketability. Particularly talking shit. He doesn't necessarily have so much of a character, but he's a big shit talker. Kobe Covington kind of has a character, where there's different. I saw guys, or like CM Punk had a big following. That's why he debuted in the UFC despite not having the fighting accolades that have probably got him there. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, fighting is the entertainment industry. This is a for-profit business. It's about getting asses and seats and people selling pay-per-views. And so I saw a bunch of these guys getting, I don't know if I'd call it special treatment, but definitely getting the better end of the deals. And so I started looking at some of that stuff, and I was like, well, fuck, how can I get the better end of the deal too?
Right.
And so part of that was kind of creating this whole brand. And in professional wrestling, they call it a gimmick. I'm essentially a professional wrestling character in MMA fighting. And that's where I plan on taking my the next step of my career is into professional wrestling.
That was
But
going
we
to
can
be
get
one
to
of
that
my.
later.
I was going to say that's going to be. I have that on the list because I had to scour through your Instagram. I saw a couple things on there that piqued my interest. We will get to there later, but it's interesting that you brought that up. And that was December 17th, the CXF that you had talked about 3 years ago on December 17th
Exactly.
of last year was when you, I guess, introduced this character.
Exactly.
Where did you get this idea for the gold grenade? Where does that come from? Where did you even get that from?
I was given a grenade flask, the original gold grenade, which I don't have the original anymore. I gave it to a kid. But shows a flask, and I was like, man, I might just paint this. And I was almost like joking, paint this motherfucker gold and wear it on a chain. And then I was like, man, that'd be pretty memorable. I mean, 'cause it's all about being remembered, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, you said you gave that grenade to a child. I saw that you do a lot of volunteer work. Is that something that you do often? Like to
So
go
I
out and
wouldn't
help out
necessarily
kids?
say it's volunteer work, but any chance that I have to give back and help encourage the youth to follow their dreams and stuff, I do. I take advantage of every opportunity I can. I just spoke at a special needs school maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So anytime I have the ability to do things like that, I try and give back as much as I can. And the way I try to do that is what changed my life for the better was me going after my dreams and not worried about what other people were going to think about that. It was my life. And after I graduated college, I could have had a good job. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking give myself a chance, and I'm going to roll.
Ooh,
So much.
hold on,
I'd be living
your voice chopped up a
a
little
life
bit.
I'd probably be satisfied in, but what I would have considered me settling for mediocrity as opposed to fucking going out there and trying to achieve the most that I could, And so it's a big
Right.
thing I try and give back to the community is encouraging people to go out and achieve what it is that they want and the most of their ability to do it, And for everybody that's different, I wouldn't expect everyone to want to go dream about being like a professional fighter, professional wrestler. You know, someone might want to be an astronaut, the president, a doctor,
Right.
fucking dad. Like, I mean, it's what somebody really wants to do with their life. It's their own individual thing, you know. And I just encourage people to go after those things for themselves. I think it'll make that's the way I plan on changing the world. I'm trying to encourage people to believe in themselves, their dreams, and their ability to achieve those dreams. I've got like a whole plan on how I do it. But essentially, I'm going to go achieve what other people would consider wild or unobtainable, because I figured out what the fuck I wanted. I created a plan to get it, and I passionately put my everything into that plan, and then modified along the way as I got fucking smarter, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I don't remember what the question was.
No, it's okay. It's completely okay. First and foremost, that's so admirable. Like, you know, I guess a lot of the people that you fight only get to see the heel side of the Blake troop, of the Blake Bulletproof troop. But it's interesting to see that you've got all these layers, and you're very aware of who you are. You're very aware of what you want to do. You know what your goals are. And you had brought up somebody like Colby Covington earlier, who I don't feel is doing the same thing. Like, for you, I feel like it might be, as much as you are admitting you're doing a character, there's a lot of passion and heart into what you're doing. Whereas for him, I don't really feel there's like a lot of passion.
I don't think that his character is genuine. I think he's trying to bother people. Where Bulletproof Troop, I mean, my character, my on-screen character, I'd say is pretty heel. But me as a real life person, I'm very faced. Like, I'm all about encouraging people to be the best they can be and all that. Like, but if I'm fighting somebody, typically they don't like me. I mean, it's easier to hype a fight when people don't like each other. People want to watch people that don't like each other fight, and I tell people I got a black belt in shit talking. But I'll just roast people.
Right? That's great, and you don't have to like the person that you're gonna fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like especially like me going in as an adult. Like, there's no words you're gonna say to me that are really gonna like make me upset. You know, other than like, I'm going to kill you and your family. Like, if you say I'm gonna kill you and your family, I'm like, all right, well, fucking, that's crazy. Yeah. But aside from that, like, you know, I appreciate a good shit talker. Like, it's fun. It's just a fun, like, as much as one championship is beautiful and admirable, and they like focus on like the tradition of martial arts and the culture, I love that too. But I also appreciate a guy like Blake who's gonna sit there, have no fear in his heart, just zero, right?
Yeah.
Has the skill to back it up, has the willingness to put himself out there, has a plan, and then also he's going to talk some wild shit. I want to hear some wild shit every now and then, you know what I mean? So it seems like you know, when you respond or anything, it doesn't seem like I'm sitting in front of my mirror practicing all this shit. It's just like you are out there, like, just let it go. Like, you're like, hey, whatever comes to my mind is gonna come.
Yeah,
right the
sometimes
fuck out.
It gets me into trouble because I don't know what the fuck's coming out of my mouth. I'm as surprised as you guys are sometimes.
That's how you got to do it. You got to fire from the hip sometimes.
I do agree with that. I agree with that.
Speaking of firing from the hip, we're gonna go more into your I guess your fight background, because that's what I do with everybody that I have on.
Yep.
But you seem to have a huge fascination with military stuff, as you said before, and shooting and guns. And on your Instagram, it's just dozens of videos of you going through all these crazy drills, and, you know, have all these rifles and stuff. How big of that is a part of you, like, as far as going out and training that? Like, is that for
I'm
appearances?
a big fan of all things combat related. But I would say the biggest thing that sparks my interest with, like, the tactical firearm training, which I'm doing again tonight, is I eventually want to be doing movies. Like, I tell people I'm a real life John Wick. Like, I fucking drive cars fast. I know how to drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
I used to ride motorcycles a lot. I sold that bitch though because I almost went down. I broke my leg in a few places. I've had a bunch of motorcycle crashes, so I sold that motherfucker recently.
Yeah, it's pretty common for people to just get motorcycles and just crash them almost immediately. They crash them all the time.
Bro, I've had 2 bad high-speed motorcycle crashes, almost the 3rd one. But so I enjoy doing very testosterone-oriented activities, I guess, you know. I'm like a real-life superhero is what I tell people.
I think they call it toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but, like, I think toxic masculinity can be when it's bad. You know, I'm big on respect. Like I said, encouraging others and all kinds of stuff like that, where, I enjoy stuff like that. I feel like people knowing how to fight or use a weapon is an empowering thing where they, you know, where it's not so – I could see why people would feel different ways about it because people have done silly things with guns.
Right.
But, yeah, I really like shooting. Like I said, I'm going shooting tonight. I'm pretty good at it. I've been a big fan of guns for a long time. You know, a bunch of people in my family have concealed carry permits.
Well, you're oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. There's a little bit of
firearm trainer that I've trained with is one of my sponsors actually as well. Okay. Apex Defensive Strategies. And so I mean, it all kind of fits hand in hand with my brand, where I'm able to build. Everything with Bulletproof Troop, it's just me being me. You know, it's not like I'm pushing the military thing just because it happens to be my last name. Like this is shit that I'm into. It just happens to all like fucking tie together. You know.
Troop Life chose you, bro. It chose you.
Troop Life chose me, baby.
Well, I was gonna say, I have my own political, and you share your political. Well, I don't know if they're your political views, but you got some political shit that you put up on Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
You are like the ideal person I would want to be a gun owner. Really, like a level-headed athlete who goes out and trains all the time. Those are people, or like the police or military forces. Like those are the people I feel like should have guns. So like you're like a prime example. And as much as people say, you said before, people do some silly shit with guns, but people do some good shit with guns too. There was like a couple shootings that have been stopped because there was a guy with a gun there, and that's not the best, way to stop everything, but you can't deny, that it does happen. There's people out there who train all day, like you, who are ready for combat situations in real life, who are able to stop things like that. So
right.
But yeah. So do you get any hate for being outside of fighters? You get any like Second Amendment hate?
Yeah,
you give a shit. You just say stuff.
So I'll get different kinds of stuff. And sometimes, you're always gonna have shit talkers on the internet. You post your fight, people are gonna be like, "Oh, your wrestling sucks," or "You're this."
Right.
Like people are always gonna bash you.
Right.
So I don't really consider any of that like stuff that just brushes right off.
Right.
But so something that like where you mentioned about the grenade chain earlier.
Yeah.
I went out to WrestleMania week in April out in New York, and so there's a bunch of wrestling events all week. And I was at an Impact Wrestling on like the Thursday before WrestleMania. WrestleMania's on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking around my big gold grenade chain. And I intend to, when I'm at events, walk around a whole bunch because I want everyone to be like, who the fuck is that big dude? Like, it's almost like teasing him, like you'll see Bulletproof Troop on my shirt, my big grenade chain. And I'm 6'4", 235, so I'm a big dude.
Right.
So I stand out. And so I'm walking around that event on Thursday. And then Sunday, I'm at a WrestleMania viewing party. And I'm talking to this couple, and the chick's like, I saw you at Impact on Thursday walking around with your gold. I have a golden grenade chain on then. She's like, and I thought you were such a dork. Such a dork. And she's like, and now I'm talking to you, and you're so fucking cool. She's like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. She's like, because when I saw you, I thought you were going to be the douchiest motherfucker, full yoke, full shaved head. And I was like, I can appreciate that, but like at the end of the day, you fucking remembered me. How many people are out here and you fucking remembered me? 4 days later, like, that's that dude. Yeah. That's why I do it. So it's exactly why I do it. Whether they like it, they think it's stupid, whatever. They fucking remember that shit.
As much shit as America has given Colby Covington, that motherfucker can fight and people remember him. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? So, as a result, the check's bigger, notoriety's more. I don't know what he's going to do after taking a loss like that, like on a station. Not because it was such a brutal loss that he can't come back from it, but he had talked that fucking fight up to like this apex. He got it, and then he goes out in the way that he did. So
I thought he was winning the fight. I had it like 2-3 going into the 5th round.
Yeah, I had him winning. He
really did well, but the thing is, nobody likes him. He's such. He's playing the heel role so hard that it's like, fuck, you don't really have too many fans. You got some. But, there's a lot of people that want to see you get your ass kicked, and it's definitely better to be loved than it is to be hated.
I don't know. Those MAGA people came out strong for him. I went to go see him in Newark because he had fought Robbie Lawler in Newark, and it was like 50-50. It was like half the crowd was, I want him to watch him die, and the other half was like, they're in it. They were in New Jersey. It's not like a big red state, but there's people came out. They came out to see him.
He's making moves, and he almost got cut from the UFC. He talks about it, and since any interim belt challenge for the belt, like it's anybody who wants to. They might not like him, but you can't argue with how well it works.
He's got the skill level, he's got the skill level, and I think that was Usman's hardest fight, in my opinion. Like that was like on paper, he was fucking losing. Like he was losing the fight. I don't care what anyone says. Kobe took the most damage and he got the stop, but it was in the last round, and he wasn't winning too many of those other rounds. So
I had it 2-2 going into, but Usman was a champ. We could have been 3-1 going into the round.
Yeah, 100%. How did you end up finding Lights Out as an organization?
I fought for CXF. in December of 2016. So I mean, it's Southern California, so it's a regional show here. So I already had a good relationship with George Vestmasian and Steve Bash from CXF. And then they picked up, Sean Merriman became part of the team, and they switched over and became Lights Out and got the television deal on the Fox Sports Network. So after they did that, they hit me up. I was working with I had my last, two fights? Yeah, my last 2 fights from the LFA. I was supposed to have a couple other ones, but I got injured or my opponents got injured. But so I was with LFA. Lights Out hit me up, and they knew what I was trying to do. I had the WWE hit me up about a little over a year ago, and expressed interest in me. So professional wrestling became I watched it a lot as a kid, but so professional wrestling became a big interest and potential goal for me again after that had happened. And so the owners of Lights Out Extreme Fighting knew this, and they also have a televised professional wrestling promotion that's kind of big around the world, you know, and they're pretty well connected in professional wrestling. So they hit me up and talked about wanting to bring Bulletproof Troop over to Lights Out Extreme Fighting, and then eventually into the wrestling program.
And then make it, gotcha, to the next one.
And to help, because the big thing, I don't necessarily, when it comes to my wrestling career, I don't want to necessarily start over. Like, I'm not trying to create something new and go to wrestling. I'm trying to transfer what I have into wrestling.
That seems to be the fucking thing to do, especially when you look at people like Ronda Rousey and now Cain Velasquez, who went over to Mexico, had that really big show with in Mexico, and now he's signed to the WWE. It seems like, and even in reverse, right? CM Punk got the shot that he wanted in the UFC because of his huge following. So It seems like a great business model.
Exactly. So yeah, trying to kind of sidestep over and to really blend as much of the two careers as I can, because the bigger my MMA career gets, the better for my wrestling. The bigger my wrestling career gets, the better for my MMA, where it works together. So that's something that they're interested in pursuing with me. That's amazing. So right now I'm just in the training stage of my wrestling. But we'll see where that leads to this year. I think there will be big things for Bulletproof Troop in both the MMA world and the professional wrestling world this coming year. But one date that I do have for sure for this year is my next fight. I'm not sure I'm allowed to announce it yet, but I'm going to fucking announce the date on it anyway. Friday the 13th of March, I will be fighting, and I'll be making my heavyweight debut at Lights Out.
Friday the 13th. It just seems perfect. It just seems like a good rollout for Blake. Friday the 13th, just some fucking slasher film shit that we're going to see, hopefully.
Exactly.
Oh, man, that's great.
Nightmares made out of the same stuff that I am. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun shit for this one.
That's gonna be amazing. So you said you have an opponent locked in for that yet, or not yet? You just have the date.
So I don't know what the deal is with an opponent yet. I haven't signed a contract. I've just been told the date.
Okay,
that's all I know about it right now.
Cool. Getting fucking exclusives in here for Lights Out. Lights Out's a pretty well made promotion. I watched my buddy Blake Builder is in Lights Out, and I watched a couple fights from there. It's very well done. It's like as good as UFC quality, really, or Fight Pass quality.
Absolutely.
And they do pressers, and they do like a really good job with promos. They cut really good promos too. I remember that being
promos. They do stuff for exactly, little intros for each of the fighters on the main card. Like, they do a bunch of really cool stuff for us, where they're really stepping it up and kind of putting us in positions to be able to market ourselves as well. You know, because that's a big part of it too, is fucking being able to market yourself, with the promotion helping you out by doing things like the promo videos or things of that nature.
So I noticed that because you're a super athlete, right? So like you're able to do all these different things. You have all these different skill sets. You were doing the Naga, and I guess you World Championships. You won that. You medaled in that, and had belts. I saw belts that you had for it. I also saw that you went to another promotion that I had caught my eye only because I smoke weed. The High Rollers BJJ. How did you find that?
So I competed in the first High Rollers, which was in the gi, and I don't do any gi. I'm technically a purple belt, but I mean, I got my purple belt like 8 years ago, maybe. Okay. I'm all no gi, 100% no gi. So I was hit up by, I used to be sponsored by Cushy Punch Weed Edibles.
Okay.
And then another company, Red Bowie Hash Oils, hit me up before.
These are amazing names for businesses.
Some posts like, yo, you guys need to check out Bulletproof Troop.
Yeah.
So I got invited to the first High Rollers sponsored in by Red Bowie. And I don't do any gi. I got submitted in the first round for that one. And then I had the WWE looking at me right around the time of the second one. I was advised not to compete in it. And then the third one, I was just there fucking watching. And Breeze they're all my buddies who put on High Rollers. So Breeze, one of the big dogs in High Rollers, is like, yo, Troop, if we could do a super fight, you down? Like, yeah, fuck it,
Right.
That's him and I ended up just fucking doing a little super fight. I mean, it was more for fun. It wasn't like a full on competition role, but had a little super fight. I won it, but I mean, like I said, it's for fun, so it wasn't really. Those little medals are fucking dope.
I was gonna say, so what's that environment like in there? It's usually they don't really. I haven't seen them do a lot of like outwardly broadcasting where they're gonna be at and a lot of different stuff like that.
So this last one was pretty ninja. The first two, they told them everybody where it was. Anybody could come buy tickets. This last one, they were keeping it very low key on the location and stuff. Where when they gave me the address, like don't post this anywhere. But so there wasn't a big ass turnout for this. Like, dude, the first one and the second one, the whole room was like hot boxed.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
The third one, I mean, there was people smoking there, but it wasn't like fucking.
It wasn't crazy.
Hot box.
Yeah, I just feel like it's such a good like transition for like. First off, we know everyone in the Brazilian jiu-jitsu community, at least the ones that I know, are all smoking to begin with. So to have events that are like dedicated just for that. And then you get to watch I've seen some pretty high, including yourself. I've seen some pretty high level names show up there sometimes, and sometimes people who are not like super like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like names like Gordon Ryan or something like that. It was a guy, Beast Boy, Chris Beast Boy, I think is his name. He's like he's like this really overweight guy that does like breakdance. You probably saw like the highlights. He does he used to do MMA. He used to do like breakdancing and fights and shit. It's really crazy. I used to see his name on there. I've seen a couple other people on there. I just like it. It's just like a cool. I would love to go to an event.
It's really fun. It's a really fun event. If you're in the LA area, I'd recommend going to the next one. It probably won't be for another 6 or 8 months, a year maybe.
Okay,
they're a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So since you are showing this, back to my original point, you're showing this willingness to go out and try out all these different sports and different promotions and stuff like that. You had mentioned Sean Merriman as someone that had partnered up with Lights Out. That's somebody who was actually looking at to go into bare knuckle boxing before. I don't know what happened to the promotion, but it doesn't look like the promotion is doing very well anymore. But there's like a really big promotion, bare knuckle fighting league, or the bare knuckle fighting championship. Would you ever do anything like that? Would you ever venture into that? I feel like
I actually spoke to them when I was looking around, seeing what my next move was. Like 7 or 8 months ago, before I signed with Lights Out. And I was interested in doing some bare knuckle boxing. They wanted to sign me for a 3-fight exclusive contract, and I was not willing to sign an exclusive contract. But I would love to fight bare knuckle. Yeah, it
just seems like good.
Most of my fights have been bare knuckle. That's
crazy as shit. What do you mean? What do you mean? Because you said before you
most of my fights haven't been in cages.
Just like in life.
Like just in my life fights,
Well, talk about those. You
I only have 13 in a cage. That's like.
So you got into some trouble, or people starting trouble with you before?
I mean, I would say probably a combination of the two. I've definitely matured a lot since I was a young troop.
So what was your early life like? So like, did you find jiu-jitsu first? Was jiu-jitsu like one of your first martial arts?
Yeah, so I found freshman year of high school in 2001. I had a family friend who was overweight. He's like, bro, you down to do some kickboxing with me to lose weight? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. And we just happened to go to like a legit gym, and I fucking trained kickboxing there and fucking submission grappling and stuff, and I just naturally excelled at it and enjoyed it. Right. And I mean, I had a big brother growing up. I was a big brother growing up, so like I like to play rough, kind of.
Right. Like just beating siblings' asses.
Yeah. But so that's kind of how I got into it, and then I graduated high school, and I ended up working got a job on the mat fight shop, OTM, back in like 2006. So I've just been involved in the sport for a very long time and training with relatively high level guys for a pretty long time. I like strategy games, and I'm just naturally really good at
You play real time strategy games?
Yeah, I play a lot of like chess, I play all kinds of different strategy games. I enjoy playing games, and I'm good at playing games and figuring out how to win at games. And there ain't no stakes higher than when your fucking body's on the line,
Yeah. So that's very true. Wait, so I'm a huge gamer myself. I used to play chess when I was a kid, but I wasn't very good at it. Do you play like like Crusader Kings and shit like that?
I haven't, but I like Risk. Like I got Risk 2210. There's another board game, Axis and Allies, like things like that I grew up playing a lot of that I enjoy. I haven't played so much besides chess or like dominoes recently, but I do enjoy games and playing games and winning. I really like to win. I'm a competitive person.
That's fucking obviously. You're out here trying to. You're a competitive person at like the most risky, dangerous level though. Like it's not just chess. Like you like to it looks like you like to exercise your brain and do all those other things. I'm sure you read and do all that other shit. But I guess like the true competition for you is like when you feel like you're gonna die, like you're really gonna go out there and
it makes it exciting. That's for sure. Exciting.
Yeah. So you used to fight in the LFA too, as well,
yep.
Right? How did you find that promotion, or how did that promotion find you?
So, like I said, I used to work in on the mat fight shop back in like 06 to like probably like 08 or 09, and one of the people that worked there was Ryan Bevins, who works closely with LFA, and the matchmaker Mark Bieri, his brother Scott Bieri owned the Las Vegas on the mat fight shop. So I mean, I'd already kind of had an in with them. And then the CEO Ed Swerz is the owner of Black House, the gym I train at. So I mean, I kind of had an in with them already through the fight community and training at Ed's gym and stuff. But so that's how I got in with RFA, and RFA was kind of my OTM connects, and then LFA was I'd been training at Black House then. But I mean, I'd say what got me in there being a tough motherfucker that was down to fight people. You know, I got into the RFA by fighting Khalil Roundtree on like 7 or 8 day notice. So, I mean, I'd say me getting in was because I'm a tough motherfucker that's down to fight people, which is cool. But like, I've gotten better about selecting taking smarter, more strategic steps forward. You know, I'd still fight any motherfucker, but if I can fight certain people for more money and things like that, where it makes better sound, I'm a lot more business oriented with my decision making now. It's like, dude, in my first 6 months of fighting, I fought 6 times in 6 months, twice in 2 weeks once. I had to fight motherfuckers, but I went 3-3, you know, and so I had a rough start to my career, so I've gotten a lot more strategic about having full training camps, you know, not taking short notice fights, you know, not that any of that's an excuse for why my record's what it is, but fuck, you live and you learn, you know, and I'm making much wiser decisions with my career now, and as a result, fuck, I'm co-main eventing on TV, fighting for belts and shit, you know?
Right. No, it's obviously, like, I'm glad you brought that up, for the simple fact that, you know, a guy like Jorge Masvidal, right? Like, Jorge Masvidal is like, I'll fucking fight anybody, but like now, like, I'm doing this shit for money, so like, let's get. He's like, I used to just, like you said before, you used to get in bare knuckle fights all the time, right? So
yeah, just like, fuck, we got a problem, let's fucking run it.
Right. just like, I just do this shit for fun, right? So it's like, you get to a certain point where it's like, well, I'm a pretty good athlete, and I'm marketable, and I have a great personality, I'm intelligent, I'm thinking 10 steps ahead. Maybe I'm not going to just fight anybody.
Mileage to put on.
Right. Maybe I'm just not going to fight anybody that walks in there. Like, I'll fight anybody for the right position, right? If this position is for a belt, or, you know, the Contender Series, or, you know,
right.
You know,
when it makes sense, exactly. Where I'm much more strict. Like, I'll still fight any motherfucker at the drop of a hat. I'm with it, but I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm taking the best steps forward and getting the most out of the investment that I'm putting in.
Right. Fucking Blake, you've on top of you having a giant body and all these skills, you have a giant brand and you're fucking using it. It's so admirable. That's, you know, it's like, there's like, I really like violence. Like, I just do. It's just, it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. But I also appreciate the behind the scenes things, the cerebral components of things. So when you come across a fighter who has got the complete packages as far as like being marketable, personable, you know, looks the part, like you're shredded to the fucking gills. You've got the skill level, and then you're like, well, this guy's got a brain in his fucking head too. You only wish for successful things to happen. So I hope only successful things happen to you from this point on, Mr. True.
I appreciate that. I definitely got blessed with a bunch of good stuff that I think on. And like, I think this is a big thing that'll help me with the wrestling is where I'm pretty articulate. I can think about what the fuck I'm trying to say and do. Like,
right.
So that's why I think I'm going to be able to accomplish a bunch of big things. And I want to show people how the fuck I did it and help them achieve their own success, or help put them in a position where they're able to understand how to achieve their success if they want to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's everybody's own job to achieve their success, but
right.
It definitely helps having some guidance on how to efficiently take steps forward.
Right. So I have 2 more things I want to go over. One, I don't want to make it seem like I'm blindsiding you. So like, I'll have a precursor to my next statement, right? So up until your last fight, you went on a fucking tear. You had like a 4-fight win streak, which is insane. You had 2 in Gladiator, and I think you had 2 in Lights Out.
Yeah.
or the LFA, which is like
Yep.
just, if not better. You've seen so many people coming from the LFA in recent
Right.
memory. Champions, even that are in Bellator. I think Jason Jackson was an LFA champion, and he's doing very good in Bellator. He looks very clean. You had your most recent fight had ended in decision loss in favor of, I don't know how to say the guy's name, so I'm not going to
Andre Vasilevsky. Yeah.
Andre Vasilevsky. It was difficult, I guess. The fight was very, very, like, the one thing I will give you that you can't teach anybody is that your fucking heart and your toughness
I know, bitch.
cannot be matched. He was trying his fucking best to put you away, and he couldn't do it. And that's something you can't teach. You can't teach that to people. You have like a heart of a lion. You know what I mean? You're one of those guys that's like, pass out or tap. Right. Right.
That loss, like, I took a lot of damage. There were times where I could have quit or broke and been like, yeah, fuck this. I don't even want to take any more of these.
Right.
But I did. The last time I lost in CXF in 2016, I got choked unconscious, went to sleep in the triangle choke.
Right.
I'll fight to the fucking death in there until I can't fight no more. It was a tough fight. For that fight, I've been working a lot more on my power, and I was trying to knock that motherfucker out. And when I dropped him that first round, I just spent everything I could chasing the kill because I saw it right there. And I floored it a little bit too much, get caught in the heat of the moment a little bit fucking. But that's what I tell people. Like, I'm there to fuck people up. And if I hurt you, I'm going to try and fucking hurt you.
Right.
I want to try and put a dude away to the best of my abilities. And I spent everything chasing the kill. So I'm not necessarily mad at myself for that. I think cutting weight, like, I'm a big dude. Even cut weight down to 205.
Yeah.
It's tough for me. I fought at 170 once, which is wild.
Get the fuck out of here. When?
Yeah. I fought at 170 once. Majority of my fights been 85. I've only fought 4 times.
What the fuck, bro? That's so much. Oh my god.
And I'm like 235, almost 240 right now. It's just like, I'm not cutting weight anymore. I'm just going to fucking fight where I'm at. Because I do fantastic where I'm at. I do very, very well against lots of high level guys. And whether it's boxing, MMA, I do very well. So I don't feel like I feel like cutting weight puts handcuffs on my body's ability to perform. And as a result, I don't perform at 100%. And I feel like I'm trying to get a little bit of a size advantage, and that's why I'm not performing at 100%. Doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't think anybody beats me when I show up at 100%, Right. But, I have no excuses, Andre Vasilevsky's a tough guy. I fucking hit that motherfucker as hard as I could, connected, watched his head wobble. And somehow that motherfucker got back up. I have nothing but respect for Andre.
2 lions in there, man. 2 fucking alpha dog lions. Well, I guess alpha lions. Alpha dog lion. But 2 alphas in there fucking just going for it, and that's what I appreciated most about that fight. But I wanted to ask you, what did you learn most from this fight? What did you learn most from this exchange that you had with
Stop cutting weight. I mean, I don't want to say, like, pace yourself when you're trying to kill somebody, because, like, fuck, I have that killer instinct. I'm not gonna train myself not to do that. I guess maybe do a little bit more sprint work, maybe.
Right. Okay.
But not cutting weight, I think, is one of the biggest things I can walk away from with that. Because, I mean, fuck, I spent everything I had in 90 seconds, but it was up. It was go.
I appreciate it. Hey, listen, I appreciate the honesty. I feel like most people who are honest with themselves, and even in your defeat, like, your shit was funny on Instagram still. Like, you didn't change anything. You didn't change your, not in the fight sense, but in your personality. Like, that's why I believe in your personality, and it's believable. It's because rain, shine, sleet, or snow, you're going to show up and be the same Blake that you've put on for us to see, right? So you had taken the loss very well. You had posted, I guess it was a story just giving an update, and you're just like, let's get back at it. I'm like, Jesus, man. Like this guy's a fucking zombie. Like, he can't be put away. And I appreciate that.
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate
it. I just fucking put it all out there, and passionately put my everything into what I'm trying to achieve, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's easy to, like, because people, like you're saying, where I'm myself then, or what. Fuck, Bulletproof Troops is me being me. The volume's up, turn a little bit on high. Sometimes I'm a little extra with it. But it's just me being me, so it's easy to be the same motherfucker.
Yeah.
The nose, sleet, or shine,
Right. I appreciate that. So, I guess what I want to finish up with is what we had alluded to this most of the time. You want to go into the world of wrestling, of professional wrestling. Can you tell me about Santino Bros Wrestling Academy? I saw you doing some things there. That's a name that I've seen from that facility before, and I just wanted to do a little bit insight.
So Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy is one of the gyms that I train at here in Bell Gardens. They actually had a big show last night. One of their students, Jake Atlas, just got signed to the WWE. So it's ran by Joey Chaos and Robbie Phoenix. And fantastic coaches. They do more of like a what's called lucha style wrestling, which is a little bit more of the flashier moves. Mm-hmm. But as a big guy, I'm going to have people doing some of these moves on me. I'm not quite at the point where I'm advanced enough to be learning that stuff. I'm still at the very beginner stages of it. But they're a fantastic school that's just been churning out some of the best talent in Southern California. I also trained there with a guy named Brian Kendrick, who's in the WWE, who's a pretty big name guy. And then I trained in Oxnard at the United Wrestling Network with a variety of different guys from Dave Marquez's camp, like Pete Avalon, who's in AEW, he's the librarian. Mm-hmm. Another guy, D-Man, who's wrestled in Championship Wrestling in Hollywood a bunch of times. Santino Brothers is a fantastic academy. So, yeah, you probably saw me doing that flip there the other day.
Yes.
So they're more of, like I said, a flashy lucha-style training academy. So having some fun with that stuff, trying some flips and stuff, but I probably wouldn't do a flip unless it was a special occasion. I'm at 6'4", 240. Like, I don't need to flip. I'd rather bust that out of my back pocket on, like, a WrestleMania pay-per-view or something like that.
I was going to say,
a backflip every night.
You know, when you're a smaller guy, when you're like a Mighty Mouse, like those backflips don't seem shit, but you're every bit of 6'4", 208, oh, not 80 pounds, but you're a heavy fucking guy, and the risk of injury is so much higher. I just feel like all those, like fucking Johnny Walker, he got hurt doing just out of the fight. I mean, he got knocked out by Corey Anderson, but before that, he was doing the worm, and he fucking tore his rotator cuff. Like imagine how silly he must have felt being at that peak of his career, beating that guy to be showboating like that and then just tear your shit like on after a win, putting yourself out. Like, it's so silly. So again, the cerebral Blake fucking Bulletproof troop over here, always thinking 10 steps ahead. He's not going to put himself at risk, any unnecessary risks, but he will take fucking high risks for sure. 1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it. That's basically all the questions I had. Usually this is the part of the interview where I say this is your platform to say whatever you want. Sponsors, you know, your next fight, if you say your next fight again so I can make it easier for a clip or a promo. This is your stage, so whatever you want to say, Mr. Troop.
Your boy Bulletproof Troop is here at the Catchweight update. And it's an awesome show, so I don't know if y'all tuned in, but you're going to want to. And next fight's coming up Friday the 13th in March. Lights Out Extreme Fighting. What's it, LXF 5 or 6? I'm not sure, but catch it on the Fox Sports Network. Shout out to my coaches, Rage and Kenny Johnson. Shout out to my gym, Black House, all my teammates. Shout out to my sponsors, Panic 39 Clothing, Insight Graphics, Rock LA, Rock IV, Dr. D, Apex Defensive Strategies, Synergistic Health and Strength. I feel like I'm forgetting some people, but I love y'all if I'm forgetting you. Shout out to all my Bulletproof Troopers and Bulletproof Troopettes around the world. I might be a one-man wrecking crew, but we're a squad right here. So I appreciate the support from all you guys. And shout out to Trey for bringing me on, man. I had a great time today, brother.
Dude, it was such an honor to have you on, man. It was a blast. It was as hyped up as I had made it. I was like, this is gonna be a fucking awesome interview. I can't wait. It was awesome. Learned some shit about you, Blake. You know, I hope you go out there and you achieve everything that you want and you want your goals for. You're a nice person. On top of you being a heel and an athlete and, you know, this big jock-looking guy, you are also, you know, an admirable person, a very nice human being. You know, you're out there doing the right things. As much as you are, you know, enjoy being the heel and the WWE personality, you're also, like you said yourself, you want to give back, and that really means a lot to anybody, like to anybody out there. You know, that's easy, and that makes you more, you know, not that that was your goal, but as a business, when I'm looking out at a guy like Blake, you know, I want my kid or who's ever kids to look up to a guy like that who's got these goals and these ideas in mind, despite what the world is telling him to do. So very admirable, man. Thank you so much. Blake.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, brother. And anytime you want to bring me back on or whatever, I'm always down.
Hey, just shoot me a text like, hey, you fucking idiot, I need to do an interview. Like, let's get this done. Whenever you want to get it done, man.
Cool.
Post-fight.
I'll probably hit you up before my next fight then. Maybe we'll work something out before then or after then.
Awesome. Hey, if the shit goes down with Iran, I want you in my corner, okay? You gotta teach me. We gotta Red Dawn this shit, okay?
We got this, baby.
All right.
Stay up, man. Appreciate you.
See you later, brother. See you later.